Thanks for tuning in to WTOE Radio Live. Our shows will start in 20 minutes. You're listening to WTOE Radio Live. Our shows will start in 10 minutes. Thanks for tuning in to WTOE Radio Live. Our shows will start in 5 minutes. And now, WTOE Radio Live, brought to you by ThroughOurEyes.org.
Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel, your one-on-one travel agent, making your travel dreams come true, home of the independent traveler. Whether you're sighted, blind, or disabled, whether you use a cane, guide dog, or sighted guide, Echevarria Travel will get you there safely. Come and learn more about traveling independently.
Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go.
Hello, and this is Cheryl Echevarria, and welcome to the February 5th, 2013 show of the Echevarria Travel Show. We're pre-recorded tonight, because I'm in Washington, D.C. with the National Federation of the Blind for our annual Washington seminar. But I'm going to give the phone number anyway, so in the future you have it. It's 1-888-572-0141. And please don't forget, we are now on YouTube, so it's WTOE Network. So you can find myself and all of the shows that are recorded or even live for the WTOE Network. So tonight, you just have me, myself, and I for the show. So we will be talking about who is Cheryl Echevarria, what I do, the National Federation of the Blind 2013 convention in Orlando, Florida, from July 1st through the 6th, planning of that. And we're also going to be talking again about our trip in October of 2013 to Las Vegas and the Grand Canyon. And then we're also talking about a new event going on. The NFB of Florida is having the very first state convention at sea, which everybody is invited to come and to enjoy that trip with us. Okay, so there's many things going on today. I also have questions from listeners who want more detailed information about traveling with either a guide dog that are also possibly deaf, in a wheelchair, or just more about independent traveling. To start off tonight, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself before we go to commercial. My name is Cheryl Echevarria. For those of you that don't know me, I own Echevarria Travel, which is, I have my own website, which is ECHEVARRIATRAVEL.com. That's ECHEVARRIA Travel.com, one word. My phone number is 631-456-5394. And my business email is reservations, reservations, at ECHEVARRIATRAVEL.com. We're also on Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the other social media out there. So we'll get into my website as well and how to contact me. I'm also the second vice president of the Greater Long Island chapter of the National Federation of the Blind. And I'm also president of the Travel and Tourism Division of the National Federation of the Blind. So I do a lot within the NFB, and I also advocate for people to be more independent in travel, whether you have a disability or not. So as my announcement says, whether you're sighted, blind, travel with a guide dog, travel independently, I do it all. So for those of you who are not blind or disabled, you will learn a lot here for your own travel planning and destinations as well. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. When we come back, Lenny is going to show you my new promotional video. And for those that cannot see, I'll do some, if I can, a little narration in the background on it. But stay tuned. We look forward to tonight with you. Stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere. There'll be more show right after these messages.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within. You put your keys between your knuckles. You walk in well-lit areas. Someone approaches you and you grasp your cell phone tightly, ready at any second to dial the number for help. You lock the door behind you, once, twice, maybe 3 times. Now you feel safe, secure. You think you've made the right choices to protect yourself. Think again. Because if you're not making healthy choices, you could be one of the nearly 2 out of 3 women killed by cancer, diabetes, heart disease, or stroke. So eat right, get active, don't smoke, see your doctor, and live. Learn to protect yourself from yourself at 1-866-399-6789 or visit us at everydaychoices.org. A message from the American Cancer Society, American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, and the Ad Council.
I can listen.
I can cook.
Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help. You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Come with me, let's go.
Welcome to Echevarria Travel, where we deliver all destinations from pole to pole. Whether it's tickets to a local event, a group bus trip, air travel for families, or cruises, we are here to lighten the load and take the stress out of planning your trip. We offer excellent travel packages for everyone, and we specialize in providing travel assistance to the special needs and disabilities community. Echevarria Travel provides education and information on traveling with medical conditions and accessibility options in airports, on cruises, and in foreign countries. Before you give up on taking that dream trip because you have special needs that seem to make it too difficult, please contact us for a consultation first. Echevarria Travel's award-winning founder, Cheryl Echevarria, loves to travel and has personally overcome the challenges of traveling with blindness and special medical needs. Call us today at 631-456-5394 for a free consultation about your trip and explore the world with Echevarria Travel.
Hey, that's our new promotional video, and if you'd like to see that again or listen to it, it's on the homepage of ECHEVARRIATRAVEL.com, and we'll show you that a little bit later on my website. I want to go over what that promotional video was. Yes, it's a commercial that talks all about what we do, whether you're blind or not, whether you're in a wheelchair or not, whether you have disabilities or not. Some people may or may not think, well, I don't have special needs, but some people have allergies to food. They're gluten-free. They can't have soy products or milk products, or they're bringing a CPAP machine with them, or they're diabetic and they need to have those sharp containers when they're traveling and don't want to bring them themselves. Those kind of things are special needs. You don't have to be blind to be a special needs traveler. These are things you may look for, things you need to plan when you're traveling. And I'm going to get into a little bit of travel planning before we go on to the next topic. Travel planning, especially now and especially with us within the NFB, the 2013 convention is coming up in July, and you may be thinking, well, I got plenty of time to prepare for that. Well, yes and no. We all know, if you're an active member of the NFB, the convention is always in July, so you know when it's going to be every year. It's always the first week. July 4th week, we're always there. Before I go on, I want to make sure that you guys know this is a pre-recorded show, and that this is being taped for February 5th, 2013, and that number is 1-888-572-0141. Please don't call in tonight, but if you need to call in the future, keep that number handy to call in and ask for questions. Now, getting back to planning your trip. People say, well, I'm going to wait to the last minute. I'm not sure if I'm going to go or not this year. When it comes to our hotels, no, I cannot make that reservation for you. You have to call up the hotel that's assigned for our convention. I can't save you any money on it, but I'm going to tell you right now, our conventions are very popular. And not only do we have people here in the United States going, we have people from around the world, suppliers, dignitaries that go every single year to our convention. So even if you're not sure if you're going, put that deposit down. I believe this year it's $90 a room, whether you get double, triple, single occupancy. It's $90 to hold the room. I mean, you could always call up in 2 or 3 months down the line and say, look, I can't go, I can't afford it. You call up and you get your money back. Just don't wait till the last minute to do it, or else penalties from the hotel will come into play. Also, your airfare. People think, I'm going to wait till the last minute to book my airfare. The airfare will go down. Anytime that there is a holiday, and July 4th is one of the biggest travel holidays of the year because it's summertime and people want to go away for July 4th. It's also after graduation. People are getting married. People are going on honeymoons. That week is blacked out. And what I mean blacked out, you're not going to get any discounts from the airlines. You're not going to get any, upgrades or anything else. It's blacked out. Unless, of course, you have a special credit card doesn't allow you to get blacked out. Also, the seats go fast. You want to book as early as possible to get your seat going to the convention. And this applies to any place you're going. If you know you're traveling during Christmas time, Thanksgiving, Easter, any time that there's a big holiday, you want to prepare and not wait till the last minute to get your airfare. Also, in today's day and age, the airfares are not going to go down. They're going to go up. They'll go up if there's change in gas, oil. They're now implementing, I believe on Southwest, they're implementing if you want to get on the plane first, they're going to charge you a fee for getting on the plane first. That doesn't mean if you have special needs and need assistance getting on the plane. This is for people that want to get on the plane first to pick their seat. They're going to start doing that. Your luggage fees are going to go up. Okay, any reason to get the airlines more money, they will do. So the sooner that you get your ticket, the sooner that, it's going to be a lower fees and everything else for doing that. Also, another thing that I can't stress enough, whether you're going by airfare, by cruise, or anything else, travel insurance is very important. If it's not bad weather, if it's a hurricane, if it's snowing out, I mean, we are in winter now, and in the past, if there's been like snowstorms and stuff, they will either reschedule you or ask if you want cancellation on your flight, and they'll return it to you. But if you're having a flight in conjunction with going on a cruise, going to an escorted tour, whether it's in the United States or outside the United States, get that to cover your price of your vacation. You don't want to spend out thousands of dollars on your vacation and you get sick, somebody passes away, you can't afford to go anymore, and the penalties start affecting wherever you're going. Usually it's 45 days prior to arrival at your destination that you can't cancel anymore from your supplier. And when I mean supplier, I mean you're going on Norwegian Cruise Line, or you're going to Walt Disney World, or you're going on a trip to Ireland or the North or South Pole, anywhere you're traveling to, 45 days prior to your arrival, they're going to start putting penalties there. And if that happens and you have travel insurance and you got sick or somebody passed away or you lost your job or whatever have you, and you do need a reason that you're canceling your trip, is that you have that travel protection to pay whatever the supplier didn't pay you. So that way you get 100% of your trip back, less, of course, the premium you paid for travel insurance. And people think, well, travel insurance is expensive. If you're going on a trip and it's $1,000 a person, it's two people, it's $2,000, and it's $59 to cover that $2,000 per person trip, that $59 is worth it. I mean, it not only covers, your trip in case you, get sick or whatever, you can't go, covers your luggage. It covers if you need to, if your plane is late and you have to catch the cruise, they'll pay for you for a flight to catch up to the cruise line. They will, they'll make it so that, God forbid anything, you get there or you get your money back. Also, a lot of times people say, well, I got travel insurance through my credit card. Why do I need to buy additional travel insurance? Well, that is because your travel insurance through your credit card company doesn't cover everything. And it doesn't cover everything on your HMO or your Medicare or anything like that. Your insurance company will say, yeah, we cover everything. They don't cover everything when you're away. So that way, God forbid you get sick or hurt or whatever have you, that travel insurance is your extra insurance. It's like you're having insurance on your car. You may never have an accident, or you have homeowners insurance, and let's hope you were in Hurricane Sandy area, or you were, that covered hopefully your house or somebody getting hurt on your property. It's to protect what if. So that's one reason to have that. Now, going back to planning, people know, I'm just going to keep the convention at this point in our minds, because most of the people that are listening to this are NFB members, and those of you who are not, many of you plan to go away somewhere every year. Put a little money aside every year, and you know that you're planning to go there. It's not easy to do in this economy, but, we have that there, put a little $20 here or there or whatever to plan ahead. In reference to what I can do for you, whether it's the convention or not, I'll be able to book your airfare for you if you want to go on a tour. Let's say you want to go to Walt Disney World prior to our convention, which this year is going to be in Orlando, Florida. And I call it Theme Park Orlando because you got Walt Disney World, and you got Universal Studios, and you got SeaWorld and other areas. You also have a great Holocaust museum. You got great entertainment there. Orlando is a very entertaining part of Florida. Plus you have the beaches and stuff. So a lot of people plan either before or after convention while they're down there to do some family traveling and stuff. I can help you with that. Anything as long as it's not convention related, other than getting you by airfare to Orlando, I can help you with that. I can help you with transportation to that. What else? Oh, yeah, I want to go step back a little more in reference to planning ahead. Let's say, I'll take an example. Somebody called me up 2 weeks ago and they want to go to Mardi Gras. That's in New Orleans. And I said, I can tell you right now, because of when you're calling me, I really don't think you're going to find anything in the French Quarter where Mardi Gras is held to get a hotel available to you. And being a travel agent, I know that other than to you going online and trying to find a hotel and they'll say, well, I can't find anything, can you help me? If you know it's a big event, a lot of times, especially dealing with a travel professional, you can book whether a cruise 9 out of 10 times, almost 2 years in advance, Or Disney, it's 599 days prior, so you almost have 2 years to plan your trip to Disney. Or a year in advance if you're going away during a Mardi Gras, Christmas, spring break. I mean, people are contacting me now. I want to go away. I'm in college. I want to go away for spring break. A lot of these places are already full, gone. There's no way to get you in. So plan a good 6 to 9 months ahead of time. For people who are on, people say to me, I really can't afford to go places. There's a vacation out there for everybody in everybody's pocketbook. Even myself, I'm a travel agent, and unless you're with one of those huge travel agencies, I have to wait just like everybody else to afford to go traveling anywhere. So I got to get, my money saved up to go places, and I travel more than anybody else because I have to travel to check out places and not rely on the pictures and videos on what's on the computer. So you could call me up. We could put a deposit down on your trip, and then you can pay monthly on it. Some things far out ahead, it could be maybe $100 a month, maybe less. So those things are to think about when you're dealing with somebody like me, a travel agent, who can give you the advice. Also, some travel agents out there may say, I charge you for doing the legwork. And 9 out of 10 times, and I'm starting to do that myself, it's not a fun thing to do to say, I'm doing this. But the reason is that a lot of people call us up, whether it's me or any other travel agent, and they don't know where they want to go, or they're calling up and they're asking for, how much is this and how much is that, and you go through 2 days worth of doing the homework for somebody, and we don't hear from you again. This is just advice. I mean, you don't have to use me or another travel agent or do it on your own, but what the travel agent should be doing, and what I do to some people, is that charge you a $25 fee. And that's us for doing the footwork for you. And then once we find you something, we put that $25 towards your trip. We don't keep it unless you never see it, call me back again to book something. It's protect me. And it also has something to say, well, this lady's serious. She really wants my business. So if I find something for her, she's going to use that towards my trip and not keep it for herself. That just a little homework. More and more people are doing that, and I just don't want to hear somebody say, "Oh my God, do you charge anything?" And traditionally, we get paid directly from the supplier that we're doing. We get a commission, and we're not allowed to charge you more than what something else is out there. You're coming to us because we're planning this for you. We're holding your hand through every step of the way. And we're more experienced than going online and looking at pictures and stuff like that and trying to figure out, well, is this the best thing for me? So, Lenny, I don't know if you could bring up ECHEVARRIATRAVEL.com. I would like to show some people the website and explain what's on there. So when they're looking for Echevarria Travel, as I said, we are on Facebook. I have my own Facebook page. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. Any kind of social media out there. And when you first come to our website, you're going to see a couple of videos. You're going to see that promotional video that Lenny was just showing before. It's also going to tell you about us. And also said award-winning travel agent. I'm very proud. And I was awarded back in October of 2012. New York State Disabled Entrepreneur of the Year. That means, and actually, I'm the first person to actually receive that award in New York State as a travel professional. I'm very proud to say I'm the only blind travel agent, at least in the tri-state area. I know somebody down south, Maurice Shackelford. He's been on the past shows that actually have gotten me into the business. And he's been in the travel business area for about 10 years. Also on the website, the homepage, you'll also find the recorded Through Our Eyes, the ECHEVARRIA Travel Show. If you have sight, you'll also see some of my certificates. So getting back, I won the Entrepreneur of the Year of 2012, and I was awarded that by the vocational rehab centers here in New York State. I also received a separate one from Governor Andrew Cuomo. So I was very honored on that. And you also see some of the suppliers we work with. I mean, you'll see Disney, you'll see the cruise lines, you'll see CIE Tours, you'll see the associations I'm with the NFB, I'm with Lions International. I'm also certified in special needs training, whether you're blind or not. I also know about the rentals of scooters and oxygen, and if you have a CPAP machine, that was a special course I took. If you listen to the ECHEVARRIA Travel Show in the January show, or you could go to my website right now. It has the January show on there. And I had Andrew Garnett from Special Needs Group. I use him as a supplier for renting of scooters and wheelchairs, and if you need a special bed in the hotel or the cruise line, you need a hoist to get in and out of bed. You need, if your child's allergic to certain baby food, we could get baby food rented, delivered to the ship or the hotel for you. So these are things that I do as an extra plus for your travel needs. You may not think of them, but it's things out there that we do. Also on my website, we have a dedicated page for our YouTube videos. I'm always updating them. So you'll see our trips to the NFB Convention, our cruises, some ship tours we've done, especially the NFB in New Jersey. We went on the Explore the Seas last June with my business development manager, Robert Holster. So we actually went and did a ship tour with Joe Ruffalo, who you know or may not know. President Joe Ruffalo has Through Our Eyes, which is the third Wednesday of the month on the Through Our Eyes network. So we're doing the NFB New Jersey cruise to Bermuda April 13th through April 18th. Unfortunately, that group is closed, but if you're looking to do any kind of groups for your division or organization, I do fundraising events that we can get you as much money as possible for your organization. Okay, and, we also have my blog page. I have, if everybody has a blog, so I have a dedicated tab to my blog. You click on it, it goes directly to it. It's updated, not all the time. I like to be on there more often. I also have a contact us page. And shortly I will have a chat page as well. So if you come to my website, it'll indicate to me that you're there and I'll be able to speak to you. So currently right now I was doing my homework. I'm doing a certification course in SeaWorld. So I'm all certified with SeaWorld. And the more I know, the more you know. So we're going to be taking a commercial break. When we come back, I am going on the new Norwegian Breakaway May 10th through the 12th, and we'll be showing you the video of the new Breakaway that's coming out. It's a dedicated ship for New York. So stay tuned, and we'll be back right after this break.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Keith Zell, your announcer here at WTOE Radio Network. We're going to take a little bit long with this break to save our files for podcasts. So don't go anywhere because there'll be more of the ECHEVARRIA Travel Show in just a bit.
Come with me, let's go.
Alert, abducted child, African-American girl, 6 years old. Suspect, Caucasian male, 30 to 35, 6 feet, 180 pounds, wearing blue shirt, black jeans.
Now when an Amber Alert is issued,
White van, out-of-state license, X-ray 687 Charlie.
you can get the same information the authorities get right on your cell phone. Sign up for free at wirelesamberalerts.org. When an Amber Alert is issued in the areas you've chosen, you'll receive a free text message. If you spot the vehicle, the suspect, or the child described in the alert, call 911. Sign up today at wirelessamberalerts.org. Think of it. Something as simple as a free text message could free an abducted child.
All units, Amber Alert canceled. Child recovered safely. Suspect is in custody. Repeat, Amber Alert canceled.
wirelessamberAlerts.org. A child is calling for help. This message brought to you by the Wireless Foundation, the U.S. Department of Justice, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the Ad Council.
Bender, thank goodness you're here. That huge asteroid is headed right towards Earth.
I'll handle this.
Like an arrow shot from a man-sized bow, the Red Defender hurtles into space using his super strength to stop the asteroid.
He's stopping the asteroid. It's moving away from Earth. You saved us. How did you do it?
I just stopped the asteroid and reversed its course back into space.
Look, the moon. It's exploded.
Where exactly did you throw that asteroid?
Away. I threw it away.
No more moon. That means no more tides. Tides are created by the moon.
And no more walks in the moonlight. I love walks in the moonlight.
Saving the world isn't easy. Saving a life is. Just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. To find out more, go to bloodsaves.com. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council.
Mommy, you sure take the time and do a lot just to keep me safe. Knee pads, baby gates, corner cushions, socket covers, and that fancy car seat for big girls like me. Where'd you find that thing?
The odds of a child being in a fatal automobile accident, 1 in 23,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org.
So, Mom, while you're remembering to protect me from the unthinkable, don't dismiss the possible.
Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Are you stuck in front of your computer listening to our shows? Well, you may be happy to know that you don't have to be anymore. Hi, this is Keith Zalley, your announcer here at WTOE Radio. Of course, you know we broadcast live on simulcast on Facebook, Ustream.tv, as well as all of our shows host websites. And now you don't have to be stuck trying to catch your favorite show on your computer. You can listen or even watch our shows live right on your smartphone or iPad. During broadcast nights, just point your phone or iPad browser to our mobile site, m.throughoureyes.org, and click on the Listen or Watch Live link. WTOE also offers many smart apps for your iPhone, BlackBerry, Android, Windows Mobile, or Nokia phones, iPads too, all for free. Visit our main site, www.throughoureyes.org/appstores.html, and download your free app today.
Come with me, let's go.
And we're back. Okay, as I was mentioning before we went to break, is that being a travel agent, I get a lot of perks. And I was also awarded, or I was, as you've been listening to the show or have not been listening, one of my biggest suppliers and partners over the years has been Norwegian Cruise Line. And back in August of this year, they started a new Travel Agent Advisory Board. We actually give advice to the CEOs of sales and marketing and the company about how to improve our learning process directly with Norwegian Cruise Line. And one of the perks we have is their brand new ship, the Breakaway, which is a dedicated ship just for New York. They'll be traveling weekly out of New York to either Bermuda, the Caribbean, some weekend cruises out of New York. It's painted as with stars and the moon and the sun, plus the New York City skyline It's one of these mega ships. It's going to be the first mega ship that's dedicated to New York by having, the Rockettes, or the godmother of the sea, of the ship itself. We're having Jeffrey Zarkarian, who, if you watch Food Network, he's one of the top chefs. We're also having Buddy Velasco is going to have his own bakery on the ship. So if you watch Cake Boss, Buddy's going to have his own bakery on the ship. Rock of Ages is going to be their dedicated Broadway show, and so much more. So the good thing about this is Nelson and I, Nelson's my husband, and my guide dog Max actually get to sail free on the 2-day inaugural on the ship. So without further ado, Lenny's going to play the promotional video on it, and hopefully you can enjoy this. Lenny, can you please play that? And for those who cannot see what's going on, is actually showing you the boat sailing. And it's showing that Peter Max is the famous artist that's painting the whole of the ship. And it's going to have over 16 restaurants, including, for the first time, they're having restaurants that are on the outside of the restaurant on the deck as well as inside. Gelato. They're having Fat Cats, which is a jazz band. Many, many bars and lounges, including Shaker's Bar. It's a 17-deck ship. It has one of the largest casinos at sea. It's also going to have one of these great water parks. I mean, you hear all this stuff about different cruise ships that have the water slides and water parks on these ships, and this one has double slides, so you can actually race down with your friends on the water slides. And I don't even mean the kids. This is great for your husband and wife, or anybody else that wants to have some extra fun on the ship. They're having Brazilian, Parisian seafood restaurants, an ice bar at sea, which has the Statue of Liberty in there, and they give you a fur coat and gloves and all that to go in there. They have on the upper deck, they have the White Hot Party. It's just going to be a grand old time, and it's all dedicated just for New York, with all the New York, has to give you, from the dirty water, well, we call them dirty water. There's some Brad hot dogs and knishes all over the ship that are going to be in the push carts, and it's just great. So hopefully, if you want to go, book with Echevarria Travel. We have a couple of groups going throughout the year, so let us know, and we'll get you on board with the brand new Norwegian Breakaway. There's also a brand new Splash Academy for the kids of all ages. They're broken up into age groups, but they're not strict like some other of the cruise lines, where if one kid is 13 and the other one is 7 and they really don't want to be separated, they can hang out. They got a 2-level spa, one of the largest spas at sea. They have the Havens, which are their own suite area where you could get concierge level and butler service. They also have single occupancy studios. This is unheard of. Norwegian started this with their Epic Cruise, which we did back in 2010. So you don't have to go double occupancy anymore with Norwegian Cruise Line. The Epic, the Breakaway have the single occupancy. And for you in Miami, in 2014, the Getaway, a dedicated ship, same thing, mega class, out of Miami, year-round. So I currently have group space on the Getaway for 2014 as well. Another perk of working with a travel agent. So for those who couldn't see what was on there, I gave you a description, a little narrative of what's on there. When I return, hopefully we'll have a video and show you on the radio show. But again, if you want more, it will be on our YouTube page, which is found on ECHEVARRIATRAVEL.com. while we're on the subject of Norwegian Cruise Line, before I move forward, as I had mentioned earlier, I'm doing the fundraiser cruise for the NFB in New Jersey, and we're doing that in April. And, you know, at this point, nobody can book anymore into our group, and hopefully next year or whenever Joe is ready to do another one, we'll do either a cruise or maybe a land destination, but we'll do something special again. But I was approached earlier right after convention in August by Dwight Sayer. And if you don't know who that is, he's the vice president of the state of Florida, of the NFB, and he's also president of the National Association of Blind Veterans, which I just recently became a member of as well. I'm the daughter of a Vietnam veteran, so yay to all our veterans. God bless you, and thank you for working to protect all of us here at home on that. And we know because of war and everything else, we have blind veterans. So remember to say thank you to any veteran you meet, disabled or not, and say thank you. But getting back to it, I was approached and asked to do the very first state convention for the NFB affiliate. And since they're out of the largest cruise port in the U.S., which is Florida, we are doing a 3-day cruise, February 10th through the 14th of 2014. The state has held their own separate group space, but I've held space as well to do a fundraiser for them. So anybody that is listening, if you're not part of the NFB, you're not part of the NFB of Florida, you want to go on a cruise, and it's about paying it forward, and you want to go somewhere, and you know that where you're going, you're helping an organization out. Come and join us. Come find out what it's like to be blind in 2013. I always try to do some kind of group, and this is another question that I get, so this kind of ties in. Do I do a dedicated group just for blind people? And I will say I do a dedicated group or a couple of groups a couple of times a year, whether it's locally here in Long Island or taking a bus trip to New York City to see the 9/11 Memorial, or do a cruise line around Manhattan, or do a theater show, or trip to one of the local games. All of our groups that Echevarria does personally is accessible to everybody, whether you're blind, guide dog, wheelchair, not disabled. It's accessible to everybody, because if I can't go, why should you be able to go? Okay. But if you're doing your own personal trip and you don't want certain people going, you have the right to come to me, and we will hold a group for you, and then I will get you flyers and promote it and give you the flyers to promote it as well. It's your trip, but my trips, they're for everybody. So if you want to go somewhere, I will make sure that everybody gets to go as well. So yes, we're going to be showing, as soon as I'm finished talking here about our next thing, we're going to be doing the Travel and Tourism Division is doing a trip to Utah in October 2013 as well. But we're just letting you know where we're going. It's the NFB of Florida February 7th to the 10th of 2014. It's a 3-day cruise. And we're sailing from Miami to the Bahamas. It includes Miami, Great Stirrup Key, and Nassau in the Bahamas, and round trip back to Miami. We will be holding our state convention on that trip. I will be on that trip. Max will be on the trip. My husband will be there to giving help to whoever needs it, and having your travel agent right there with you traveling, as well as anybody else who wants to go and partake or not partake. It's your cruise. You can do whatever you want. So if you're interested in going to that, I'll give my phone number again. It's 631-456-5394, or ECHEVARRIATRAVEL.com, or it's reservations with an S at the end at ECHEVARRIATRAVEL.com. So you could get to me that way. So that's a shout out for that. Now, I've mentioned that I'm president of the National Federation of the Blind Travel and Tourism Division. And this year, we decided, well, we're a travel division, why not go somewhere? We've had the division about 9 years, and this year we're actually doing a trip. It's from October 9th to the 13th of 2013. And we are going, it's an all-inclusive trip except for your transportation to Las Vegas. It starts out in Las Vegas and ends in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're going to the Grand Canyon. We're going to Route 66 and Hoover Dam and the Zion and Bryce Canyons and the Navajo Indian Nation reservation. And when I had Jason Murray on from Southern Utah Scenic Tours back in November, I have a promotional video about their company, so I like Lenny to play that now. And when we come back, we'll be talking more about that trip and some more planning information. So let's take a look at their promotional video for Southern Utah Scenic Tours.
Or the Western Coastline, or Hawaii, Alaska, Canada. Use your imagination because we give you choices. For instance, you can create your own itinerary or join an already established tour, like the Grand Circle Tour. Tour with us and choose to have an intimate experience, since our regular tours are limited to only 12 people. However, if you have a large group who want to travel together, we can customize an exclusive trip for all of you. Give it a choice. Wouldn't you prefer the comfort of customized luxury touring vehicles? We do. Choose to have some of the best, top-notch guides in the Southwest, making your tour enjoyable and informational. Choose to have unique and customized trips, which create warm memories you can savor for years. Choose Southern Utah Scenic Tours.
And we're back. And some people may think, and I got emails on this, well, Cheryl, this is all visual when we're going there. What am I going to get out of there? And this is no offense to anybody out there. I mean, I was born sighted. I lost my sight at the age of 35. I'm not totally blind yet, but with diabetes, I know at least within the next 10 years, I will not be seeing anything at all. And I know the reality of that. But as an adult who lost her sight as an adult, anything in life is scary. Anything in life is new. This is not going to be all visual. Unfortunately, everything in life, it happens to be visual, and we adjust when we're using a computer. We use JAWS or Windows, or like myself, I use Zoom Text, or when we travel places, we make similar accommodations. Just like anything else, with this trip, I'm working very closely with Ron Hellquist, who's the owner of Southern Utah Scenic Tours. And yes, guide dogs are coming with us. Max is coming with me. And I know another person that's bringing their guide dog. Just remember, we are going to be in Las Vegas and Arizona and Nevada and Utah. And even though it's October, it's still going to be very hot. This is desert area. So remember the puppies and know whether or not how they do in the heat. So that's also when planning whether or not you're taking your guide dog with you or not. Yes, there'll be things that we'll be doing that is visual, but I've learned that if it's something visual, and I give this out all the time, is that our sight is just one sense. We have senses, all other senses. As you know, people think that blind people have supernatural hearing because we're blind. Oh, you're blind, you hear better. I just say no. We pay attention more because we can't see. So, which is true. If you're blind, you know that. We since we can't see, we have to pay attention to our surroundings. And a lot of times when you're out there, you hear things that maybe the sighted person hasn't heard, or that you smell something, and there's smell of the sand and the different clay, and the smell of the the desert flowers and stuff, and the sounds of the rivers, and to feel the different sands and the limestone, and it may not be sounding exciting, but for somebody who likes different places and say, I've been there, done that, or have somebody take your picture behind, one of the greatest places in the world, the Grand Canyon. I mean, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. You may never get another chance again. My husband's, he's a big Grand Canyon person, and no, my husband's not disabled or blind or anything, but, it's all what you make of it, and that's traveling anywhere. My clients, always say on the travel and tourism talk list that, has anybody been here and has anybody been there, or what do you recommend for somebody that wants to go to Disney, or I want to go to Ireland, is it accessible to me? And again, I always afraid that I'm going to offend somebody. I have to say, with working with people with disabilities, believe it or not, us blind people, as long as your mobility skills are good, I mean, yes, wherever we go, if it's even, if you're visiting grandma and you're not used to walking around her area, if you're not walking on a sidewalk and you have to walk in the street, or you have to find an alternative way of getting there, just remember your orientation and mobility skills. That affects going to, Ireland or going to Australia or anywhere else. You gotta, find out where you're going. And what I wanted to say is, believe it or not, blind people are easier to accommodate than somebody that is more mobility impaired, meaning either in a scooter or wheelchair. I'm not saying that I won't find you an excellent trip, that if you want to go to the Great Wall of China, we just have to make sure we're dealing with a supplier that can find you and get you close enough to that Great Wall of China. Blind people, and our suppliers think, like Norwegian or Sandals or something like that, think, well, you know what, if a blind person's coming here, we don't recommend it because we don't have the wheelchair ramps. Well, if you're blind and there's no other disability there, you could say, well, I don't need a wheelchair ramp, I just can't see, but thank you for that assistance to let me know that. So, there's good and bad points for everybody. Everybody has their own, needs. Some people are blind deaf. Some people do use a cane. Some people do use a wheelchair along with their blindness. But I'm just saying, these things are happening. But on the perk of it is, and this is one of the perks of being blind when you're traveling, especially going to some place. I was speaking to a client that I sent to Ireland last year, and they were with a group of people that were not blind, and they went to a couple of museums in London as well. And I'm not saying they'll take the crown jewels out of the the Tower of London for you to touch, but if you go to certain museums, they'll have you put on white gloves so you don't get the oils of your hands on them. And you can touch and feel and experience what the item is, that somebody sighted or not disabled may not have the same experience. And because you were there with them, they may be able to experience what you're experiencing. So I looked at it as a perk for us that are traveling. But I like to stress, wherever you're traveling, that your own mobility. That's the most important thing, whether you're going to, like I said, you go to grandma's house, that's in a different state, or you're going to a cruise, or you're going anywhere in the world. That's, your mobility is your mobility. If there's something blocking you there, or it's just a change in where you're walking, you learn to adjust. And that's why I say, I'll ask somebody, how is your mobility skills? Are you able to travel without somebody holding on to you, or are you going sighted guide, or are you taking your guide dog with you? Some people think you could take your guide dog anywhere in the world, and you can't. I was recently talking to somebody about going to Barbados, and they allow you to bring service animals there, but not from the U.S. So these things, again, you would find out from a travel professional, aside from, trying to make this reservation going somewhere and you get there and, oops, I can't bring the dog there. So, these are things you need to plan out when you're traveling, sighted or not. So these are generic things to take care of, whether, the person that is listening to the show tonight that is blind or not. So take this into consideration when you're planning your next trip. I want to say, we're coming to the end of the show. I wanted to give you guys a heads up. Every Wednesday night of the week at 8 o'clock, there's a Through Our Eyes show. And on February 20th, Joe Ruffalo, president of the NFB of New Jersey and host of Through Our Eyes, will have all four of us on a show discussing Through Our Eyes Network and all the shows that are on. So I want to say good night, God bless, enjoy, and we'll see you live in March. Have a great day and happy traveling. Cheryl Echevarria, bye-bye.
The Echevarria Travel Show is brought to you by Echevarria Travel, home of the independent traveler since 2009, specializing in worldwide destinations for the blind community. For more information on Echevarria Travel, call Cheryl at 631-456-5394 or email her at reservations@echevarriatravel.com. All words, ideas, and contents expressed on this show are those of Cheryl Echevarria and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the Northeast New Jersey Chapter, or the WTOE Internet Radio Network. Until next time, I'm Keith Zalley.
Cruise like a Norwegian.
Hi, this is Joe Ruffalo of WTOE Radio. If you are a resident in New Jersey and would like to join one of our chapters or have some more information about our chapters, please contact me at 973-743-0075 or email me at nfbnj@yahoo.com.
Advertise your events on internet radio and podcast free. Need to advertise your club or organization's next event? Whether it's one announcement or different ones weekly or monthly, now you can. ThroughOurEyes.org, using our WTOE radio live broadcast and our podcast, give you the ears of the world. You can take advantage of our free offer in one of two ways: recording your announcement on your computer or calling our toll-free telephone number. Visit our website to learn more. Are you stuck in front of your computer listening to our shows? Well, you may be happy to know that you don't have to be anymore. Hi, this is Keith Zalley, your announcer here at WTOE Radio. Of course, you know we broadcast live on ThroughOurEyes.org, but did you know we simulcast on Facebook, Ustream.tv, as well as all of our show's host websites? And now you don't have to be stuck trying to catch your favorite show on your computer. You can listen or even watch our shows live right on your smartphone or iPad. During broadcast nights, just point your phone or iPad browser to our mobile site, m.throughOurEyes.org, and click on the Listen or Watch Live link. WTOE also offers many smart apps for your iPhone, BlackBerry, Android, Windows Mobile, or Nokia phones, iPads too. All for free. Visit our main site, www.throughoureyees.org/appstores.html, and download your free app today. Hi, I'm Keith Zalley, your announcer here at throughoureyees.org. Thanks for tuning in to WTOE Radio's live broadcast. Our recording session will start shortly. While you are waiting, I'd like to ask all our listeners who have not yet registered at Through Our Eyes to consider doing so. Registering helps us ascertain whom our listeners are, where they come from, if they are blind or visually impaired, as well as other important information which helps us guide us in providing programming that will meet our visitors' needs. I urge all our listeners to register today. It's free and only takes a minute to complete the process. Please read our privacy policy so you can be assured that the information you provide stays with us and only us, and you'll never get any unwanted emails. Well, we're almost ready to begin. Since what you are about to listen to is live, after each recording of the show, you'll hear approximately 15 minutes of music. This is the time we are contacting our next guest for the next show. When the show starts, you'll hear it in its entirety. Our recording sessions usually comprise 3 separate shows, each about 15 to 20 minutes in length, with approximately 15 minutes between each session. So once again, thanks for listening to WTOE Radio Live. Our recording session will start momentarily. I'm Keith Zalley. Hi, I'm Keith Zalley, your announcer here at throughoureyes.org. Thanks for tuning in to WTOE Radio's live broadcast. Our recording session will start shortly. While you are waiting, I'd like to ask all our listeners who have not yet registered at Through Our Eyes to consider doing so. Registering helps us ascertain whom our listeners are, where they come from, if they are blind or visually impaired, as well as other important information which helps us guide us in providing programming that will meet our visitors' needs. I urge all our listeners to register today. It's free and only takes a minute to complete the process. Please read our privacy policy so you can be assured that the information you provide stays with us and only us, and you'll never get any unwanted emails. Since what you are about to listen to is live, after each recording of the show, you'll hear approximately 15 minutes of music. This is the time we are contacting our next guest for the next show. When the show starts, you'll hear it in its entirety. Our recording sessions usually comprise 3 separate shows, each about 15 to 20 minutes in length, with approximately 15 minutes between each session. So once again, thanks for listening to WTOE Radio Live.
Welcome to Stepping Forward, an engaging, no-nonsense approach to life's problems with your host, licensed clinical psychologist, Tamra White. Let Tamra's keen wit and straightforward delivery help make sense out of life's complex issues such as child rearing, sex education in adulthood, dealing with the elderly, and so much more. Tamra will inspire, motivate, and amuse you while dealing with real-world scenarios. And now, here's Tamra.
Hey everyone, welcome to February. I'm here. Looking forward to talking to you tonight. Can you hear me? Len, can you hear me? Okay. All right. So, hey everyone, welcome to February, as I was saying. So, looking forward to visiting with you. You've had an entire month to have everything figured out. Resolutions met, resolutions flawed, resolutions forgiven, given up, whatever you want to do. So, now you guys know that we're in February. Surely you did not think that I would let go this month of love and everything that comes with it, right? So for so many people, this is February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. What a great month. Can't wait for it to happen. And let me tell you, I hate Valentine's Day. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I do, however, appreciate February 14th, and I hope that by the end of this session, talk tonight, that you guys will come to pass to appreciate it or despise it, or at least appreciate February 14th with some kind of enlightenment like I do. All right? So, what he did, because I don't want to go into the history of it, because you can Google this and you're going to find out that it is not a loving historical month. It was, or holiday. It was actually really, really terrible. And so we decided I don't want to talk about that. So let me give you some statistics on Valentine's Day, and then we're going to go and we're going to encompass this entire thing and how we're going to handle it, how everything is going to be great with all the land, and so on, all right? So, the average annual Valentine's Day spending, $13 billion on Valentine's. This one holiday, I call it a holiday, even though I'm not off of work. I don't know if you're off of work. I don't know actually anybody who is off of work, but it is considered a holiday. Number of Valentine's Day's cards exchanged annually is going to be 180 million cards. We're going to have a whole issue on this in a segment later on about Valentine's Day cards. I did mention this is not my favorite holiday, right? Number of roses produced, 196 million roses produced just for Valentine's Day. Okay. Percent of women who send themselves flowers on Valentine's Day. What do you think this might be? Think for yourself for a second. 14% of people, women, send themselves flowers on Valentine's Day. Chunk me in there. I'm one of them. Again, I call it February 14th, but February as a whole, you go shopping, you see everyone wearing pink, kids' clothes, everything has flowers, roses, hearts, and so on. But, all right, we'll talk about that later before I digress. Amount the average consumer spends on Valentine's Day is $116. $116 is the amount for the average consumer. I must be so below average. All right, so here's some of the gifts that are given on Valentine's Day. Candy, number one, right? All right, candy. Flowers, cards. Again, we're going to talk about this. Jewelry, eating out, clothing, gift cards, and other random gifts, although I can't even imagine what the other random gifts could be at this point. But so these are the kind of stats that we have for Valentine's Day, and I want to go over this with you because, again, it couldn't possibly have let February go without going over this love and romance and what people predict to happen and hope to happen and doesn't happen and so on. And believe it or not, in my practice, this is one of the busiest times of the year for me, and it's not always good. So if you're coming to see me, it's not because you're having a really great day and everything went right with the world. So I think we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the clinical aspects of Valentine's Day, how it affects your mental health, how it affects your physical health, and some ways to kind of get around this. Or if you're just having a great time and February is your month, then you probably don't need to hear this, or maybe you could get some guidance and share with all your friends on how to lead them into a really good, happy, healthy month. All right, so let's take a couple of minutes break, and we'll be back, and we'll figure this out.
Love, 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 love American style, truer than the red, white, and blue. Love American style, that's me and you. And on a star-spangled night, my love, come to me. You can rest your head on my shoulder while by the dawn's
early. Stay right where you are. Tamara will be right back.
You take the family to the food court. Your wife and Pete head for tacos. You and Danny want Chinese. You look up at the menu. You look down to see what Danny wants. But you don't see Danny.
Danny!
Every parent knows that feeling. Imagine if he were actually abducted. To receive free Amber Alerts on your cell phone, go to wirelessamberalerts.org. A child is calling for help. Brought to you by the Wireless Foundation, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the Ad Council.
How would you feel if your children went to school and weren't taught to read? What would the future hold for them? Today, a mere 10% of blind children are taught to read Braille. Literacy is a basic right, and with it, a blind person can become just about anything. With Braille, a blind person can read at the same rate as a sighted person. This opens doors to unlimited potential. Learning to read Braille is the key to success. Without it, a blind child doesn't have a chance. For more information on Braille literacy and blindness, please visit our website at www.nfb.org or contact me, Mark Maurer, President, National Federation of the Blind, 1800 Johnson Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21230, or call us at 410-659-9314. The National Federation of the Blind. We are the voice of the nation's blind.
Snow! Hold it! You're not going outside without a jacket.
The odds of a child getting hypothermia? 1 in 66,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. Here are some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
And now, back to Stepping Forward. Here's Tamra.
Yep. Hey everyone, welcome back. Okay, so we're talking in February about February, which often comes to mind is talking about Valentine's and love and happiness and all this good joy that comes with that. But not for everyone. But, okay, I'm going to give you a personal story, but I want to show you a few clips. And I want to go over these for a little bit. I want to talk about these for just a second. So let me put on the screen a few of these clips that I have. You ready, Lynn? All right. Good deal. All right. Okay, so this is what we see. Valentine's Day, right? Cupid, love is in the air, the arrows, everything is right with the world. Everything you see, you go into any store and you're going to see the pink and the reds and Cupid's little arrow and Lifetime movies and Hallmark movies and huge movies that you go to the theaters to see are all about this. All right, the next one. Oh, look at this little guy. Okay, here's why this is why I have this on the screen. This little guy, I'm not exactly sure who or what it is, but he has been at a zoo in San Diego, and he was delivered over and over again multiple Valentines. This little guy right here got mail. At the end of this, I'm going to make it very clear why this is all being discussed right now. Yeah, this little guy got Valentines. All right, next one. Yeah, him too. Totally got Valentines. Addressed to him. Don't even know what to tell you that this thing is. That's sad. Yeah. Okay, next one. This one is me. I have to tell you. Okay, so how cute am I? Let's talk about Valentine's. All right, so now here's where I want to stay with this. We can keep this up, Len. Let's talk about this for a minute so everyone gets a really good picture of what a dork and nerd and everything I am and was. So remember at the first of the hour, I said, I hate Valentine's Day. People need to understand Valentine's Day is not for everyone. This little girl here that you see never got a Valentine. Not one time did I get a Valentine. I was so excited, hoping every year teachers try to do something fun, like, hey, you can pay 25 cents and someone gets a Valentine. Never got one. Never. Hated this day, look forward to it. Wishful thinking, hopes demised every single year. Don't know why. Look at me. How could you not give this girl a Valentine? Cute little bow tie and everything. So, all these years, never got a Valentine. I always look forward to it. Never happened. And then I had my son. Yeah, I still didn't get Valentine's in between that, so I don't think that I missed some years. No, Valentine was still nothing. So I had my son, who will turn 17 on Valentine's Day. Yeah, so I couldn't buy a break. Even then, my son takes over and I have a child on Valentine's Day. So lo and behold, it was so not meant to be that I should ever be, accept, look forward to, or think anything about Valentine's Day and I be so specially romantic and romanticized and all of these things, right? So what do you do with that? Well, if you're in my position, you have to try to compensate somehow and figure out that, you know, I need to get through this somehow. So this is what we're going to do. But before we go into that, as you admire my picture again for the last 2 or 3 minutes, know that February 14th is a very good day for me because my son is now 17 years old, but it is so not Valentine's Day. It is my son's birthday, and it is the day that people will come to me in my practice, and they're sad, hopeful, or depressed, and the next day we deal with it as well. All right, so if it were up to me, it would just go away. So let's talk about the clinical aspect of love and romance and Valentine's Day and all of this together. Studies are always done on Valentine's Day or somewhere around that when you're looking for love, because this is not just a spectator sport, but the system in general says this is the best time of the year because of the weather, because of the season. This is when people fall in love, and that's why we have it on February 14th. Again, the history, we're not going to go into that. It's just not pretty. So studies show that being in love causes your brain, all right, to change, and it has health problems and kind of has similarities to some physical health or mental health abnormalities, such as like OCD, and the serotonin levels are triggered as well as the dopamine levels. So let's talk about this, because I do want this to be at least partially clinical tonight. Even though I'm having my own little issues, I'm going to at least make this partially clinical. So triggers that when you're in love, or you are feeling in love, then it triggers your dopamine levels. Okay? If you have any kind of science education, anything like that, biology, you understand that dopamine is a good thing. Dopamine triggers the aspect of pleasure, addiction, and so on. Also triggers risk-taking, but with that comes physical pain. This is when people talk about having, aches in my side or my heart, or headaches, or I can't sleep, and so on and so on and so on. So this is your dopamine. Although the mental health aspect of that is much better and more pleasurable, so you really don't care about those physical abnormalities. At the same time, serotonin levels are triggered. If you go to a doctor for depression or anxiety, anything like that, they may give you some kind of medication for antidepressant, which would enable your serotonin levels to rise. And again, that's a pleasure principle. So when this happens, it is very similar, not with the meds, but just in love in general. It kind of mocks the same thing as OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, addictions, and the pleasure sense. So the feelings are intense, you have romantic love, you're willing to take risks, all right? So let's talk about this just for a second. So let's say you're not in a romantic relationship, or it failed miserably, or this is not a positive thing for you. Then what's going to happen, you're still going to have these serotonin levels, right? You're still going to have these dopamine triggers. And so what's going to happen is you're going to have these intense feelings. You're going to have this romantic love. You're going to have this willingness to take risks. You might have some physical pain, OCD, and struggling. This is love. Does this sound fun? No, this does not sound fun. However, you can see now that you are definitely not operating in the full range of rational thought, right? I mean, this makes sense. So, the other component of this, before I'm completely negative, as I have been this entire time so far, the other component of this is being in love and building serotonin levels and knowing that dopamine is triggered at this point. A lot of counselors and a lot of psychologists use these issues in order to have marriage counseling and to make effective marriage counseling results. So what you would do with this, because you do know that you can condition, which means it's a learning experience. So you look for fun, fun, exciting activities. You pair it with your partner. I don't know, skydiving, hanging out on the beach, whatever is fun for you. Pair it with your partner, and it is said to often duplicate the same results and to re-spark that love interest if it has so been missing. So, what do you do if you're in a situation and you need the full range of love to come back again? Then you do something that requires a little bit of risk taking. Have fun. Do something outside of your box, which I would encourage you to do anyway. And there you go. So that is now my segment on how awesome being in love on February 14th, Valentine's Day, actually could be. Okay? So, if you happen to be in a situation, as myself, that you really don't have an entire group of people that's going to send you Valentines, and you're kind of on your own, there are several things that you could do in order to get this day over with, beyond, or maybe just absolutely enjoy it. All right, the first thing, treat yourself as a Valentine. So let's pretend that you have a Valentine. Let's pretend there's someone that you love so wonderfully that you want to treat them so well. This actually should be yourself. This should be yourself. So here's what you could do. If you have not Googled this before, if you want to look up songs for Valentine's Day, or fun songs, or romantic songs, okay, if it is so needed that you need that of the heart, then you Google it, dance, hang out, sing, do whatever you need to do, all right? Other thing, the next thing, what else would a Valentine person do? They would go maybe eat, right? They go eat together. They go have dinners, a romantic dinner. I'm going to give you a couple of options here. What you could do, and I have done, because I'm only going to give you words of wisdom that I have experienced that I know works well. This awesome place that you want to go eat, schedule a reservation for 2, okay? Go there. Hang out, be like, oh yeah, I know he or she'll be here soon, right? And hang out there and sit watch everyone around you. Go ahead and order, have some wine, have an appetizer, have your dinner. Be the martyr. Have fun. Watch everyone around you look at you like, oh, that poor thing. She is so not going to have someone come sit with them. Oh, they stood her up. I have been known to get a free dessert this way. Just saying, it happens. So, have fun with this. Don't go sit and order a reservation for one. Order for two. Eat for yourself anyway. But let other people look at you and think, oh, what a cute little person. We should do something for them. They will. All right. Movies. Netflix it. Go watch it. TV land it. Whatever you need to do. Movies that day, this should be a special day. It doesn't have to be lovey-dovey. It could be Nightmare on Elm Street, if you so choose. All right? Nightmare on Elm Street, Hope Floats, silly, sweet, sappy, scary, whatever you knew. It's date night for you. That's what it should be. All right. If you don't like these so far, I do have a third option. You could just sleep. You could just sleep it out, wait till it's over, stay up all night on the 13th, take off of work on the 14th, stay up all night, go to bed at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, sleep till the next day. There you go. It's over. That was the easiest one I could think of. But sleep it out. You're good. No worries there. That's kind of easy. You shouldn't probably do that. Send yourself flowers. Why not? Send yourself flowers. Have something to show people at work. If you're at work, send yourself something. Write the card. Here's the thing. You can say whatever you want to. You can say, oh my gosh, yesterday was great. So liked meeting you in the cab and blah, blah, blah. Or on the train or at the restaurant or at the bar or whatever sad little story you want to say. Say whatever you want to say. Or you can say, hey, to myself because you're hot. Love you. All right? Flowers, why not? Don't have to wait for someone to send them to you in order for it to mean anything. Okay. All right. So in doing all of this, I was thinking about what it feels like on a year-to-year basis and what we should do and, how these greeting cards come about, because I've heard so many people tell me, this is just really a Hallmark holiday and it's just about greeting cards, and greeting cards make us, usually guys, the ones I'm talking to, make us feel bad because we don't know if we should say something sweet or we should say something funny or something in between. We don't know if we should get her chocolates because if we get her chocolates, she's like, wait, did you not see I've been working out for the last 2 months of my life? What the hell is this? Or we don't get her chocolates and she's like, what the heck? You didn't see? Like, are you trying to tell me I need a workout? Or what's the problem here? So, and I hear this. It's like a no-win situation. You need to do this. You don't need to do this. You need to get cards. And so I was like kind of venturing out on my own. And I made a little list of people I'd like to talk to and what I would want to say to them. And so I looked for some cards. So do I have time, Len, before we have a commercial? Okay, so what I did was I went to the store and I tried to come up with some ideas that would reflect all of the people in my life and what I wanted to say to them and how I felt about them. Okay, but before I go into that, because I don't want to go into that before the commercial break, I want to go back and show you one more slide. It's, I think, 7-7, that one. Yeah. So when I was doing my research on this, most people feel that Valentine's Day is the most popular day to get married, right? To propose, and I have to tell you, it is absolutely it. The 777 is the most popular day ever history of any proposal, wedding, it is known as the most romantic holiday. So, does it kind of let a little bit of us off the break? Give us a break a little bit? Yes, lets us off the hook. So, 777. So before you're like heartbroken, understand that 214 is not the most popular day of the year to either be proposed to or to be married. In fact, I feel like it's like more cliche than everything else. So, okay. So let's go ahead and do you have time to talk about this, or what's our break? All right, so we're going to talk about these greeting cards in just a second. Let's take a quick break, and I'll be right back with you.
Hi, this is Michelle Paulette from WTOE Radio. We're going to take a few extra minutes while we save our files for podcast, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 4 short minutes.
Hey, Jack, you got a sec?
Yeah, sure, come on in.
Yeah, I was wondering if you... Jack, your hair's on fire.
Yeah, I know. I just need to finish this sales report, and then I'll probably, I don't know, let me lie down for a bit. But I'm sure it'll go away.
But the flames are getting bigger. Shouldn't I... Your hair, there's so much fire.
No, I'll be fine. What can I help you with? Oh, dear. Well, at least we know the sprinkler system works.
You wouldn't ignore this. So why ignore the signs of a stroke? If you or someone you know suddenly experiences numbness of the face, arm, or leg, or sudden trouble speaking, seeing, or walking, don't wait to get help. Call 911 right away, because time lost is brain lost. To find out more, visit www.strokeassociation.org or call 1-888-4STROKE. This message brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
If there was an emergency, would your family have enough water and non-perishable food to last 3 days? We asked families across the country. Here are some of their answers.
Well, we depend mostly on our meats, on our refrigerator, on, cooking that way, so most of our foods are in the refrigerator. Once the electricity goes out, your refrigerator goes out, so you can only use that for a certain amount of time.
We usually eat fresh food daily.
In the pantry we have like granola bars and canned tomatoes,
True. That's true, but that's really not survival food, tomato paste.
The brand of dog food that I do purchase for the dogs, as well as the cats, are edible by humans. We could even share the same bowls.
I want my own bowl.
You got your own bowl.
Is your plan any better? To learn more about making an emergency plan for your family, go to ready.gov. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Ad Council.
Statistics say that 4 out of 10 high school students will drop out of high school. But sometimes the difference between dropping out and finishing is a boost.
I just try to motivate my friends as much as I can. Just get done with that credit. Just get that thing.
If you don't have anybody while you're in school, then there's not really a way to get through it.
I had a very good friend who was thinking about dropping out completely, and I just talked to him about it, told him that it was a stupid idea for him to do that. He's gone so far, and he's only got a year left.
There's one girl named Maria. She just told me to get my things straight. She told me if I ever needed anything that she'll be right there. Even my friends that have dropped out tell me, stay in school. It's not easy to leave it. You think it's the best thing, but then when you've done it, you realize that it wasn't.
10 real-life, at-risk students are filming their year, so you can see what it's really like trying to get through high school. Go to boostup.org to see their stories and give someone you know a boost so they can finish. High school is hard. Graduating is harder. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Nothing inspires imagination like reading. And it's never too early to start reading to your children. When you open a book, you can explore new worlds like the ones in the Chronicles of Narnia.
Everything you see
is Narnia.
Impossible.
You can make new friends, discover amazing adventures, and most of all, have fun.
Are you prepared for what awaits you?
To find out more about the wonders of reading, you can visit the Library of Congress website at www.loc.gov. There, you can learn more about books, play fun games, discover cool facts, and so much more. You can log on to www.loc.gov and let your journey begin. This message has been brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
And now, back to Stepping Forward. Here's Tamra.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with me through this time. Okay, so we're getting back to February 14th, Valentine's Day. February is the month of love, compassion, affection. All is right with the world just in February. January, I guess we just passed it over, and March, who knows, we'll have a different topic, you know. So, what are you supposed to do when this is going on, right? And I was giving you some things that you should do, and I said you should sleep, you know, whatever. Flowers, why not? You know what, there's some other things you could do. You could do your taxes. How about that? If February 14th, what is it, April 15th, you're supposed to have your taxes done, make yours February 14th. That's the day your taxes are supposed to be due. That's the day that you need to turn everything in. Go visit people. Do you look at this as like a new year for you? Instead of January 1st being a New Year's resolution, take February 14th as your New Year's resolution. And this is the day, because then you're not stuck with the masses of the rest of the world. You get to pick your own day. You get to pick your own new year. You get to decide what you want it to be. Okay, volunteer. This is a really good time. If you don't have your own Valentine, you could go somewhere. I've done this as well. I've gone to retirement or nursing homes and visit with people there. They all seem to love me. I need to go where I'm loved. Take cake. I take cake. I take cookies. I hang out. I have no problem eating the cake and cookies, but I'd absolutely love someone to eat them with me and enjoy it. So you can do that as well. Let's see. There's all kinds of things that you can do for yourself on the 14th. So, you know, do a group date, hang out with some friends, reconnect, figure out that, like Christmas, when there's that whole nostalgia time, that this is the time that you can say, hey, you know, I feel bad about the past, and here's what I want to do, and I want to reconnect, and today is the day I want to make everything better. Be the bigger person. Do the better thing. Again, just use this time to start fresh, start new, and so on. Okay, so before we took the commercial break, what I told you was, hey, so I am with it. This little girl that I see in my office, in my practice, who loves me, sent me this, like, can you see this? She gave me this cute little Valentine. It's the only Valentine I've received in years. And she's 5. So absolutely, it's probably going to hang on my wall for the next 10 years because I'm a little pathetic that way. You guys don't believe me when I say I don't get Valentines. I have not gotten a Valentine. Whenever I have my son, they're like, Happy Valentine's Day. And okay. So anyway, so I'm getting these greeting cards. I fill it, all this good stuff. Before I talk to you guys, I went today to look at the Valentine cards, and I was like, you know what? I have people that do not get Valentines, or at least for me. So I'm going to give them some Valentines. Here's who I want to talk to. Here's what I want to do. And I went to the store, and I am not kidding you, and I wanted to bring some here today. Those creatures that I showed you early on, they get Valentines. Like, they get Valentines. People send them cards to the zoo and have to actually think about this creature, write them a note, put it in the mail, address it, yeah, that person, that thing, with a stamp envelope, and mail it. These people, these things, get Valentines. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. There has to be, yeah, that's my favorite. Also, it's very heartbreaking and low and bad for my self-esteem. But yes. So, Tamara White, my name is under that. Thank you very much. All right, so anyway, so I'm back at the store. I'm looking for cards. I'm looking for something generic. There is nothing generic. Okay, I'm going to write my own note. There's nothing there. It's like, to Mom, you've been so amazing and awesome. You're wonderful. To my husband, you're the love of my life. And there's two people holding hands in the sand. Great. To my one-to-be, which to me is almost like saying, hey, you need to propose to me. To my daughter, because she's 5, that's what the card looks like, and says, hey, little special one, you know, on and on and on. So you get my point. Here's a card that I want to send. I have a few cards that I want to send, and I want to share these with you because I will indeed. And if you get to know me and you know me well enough, I totally am going to send these cards. Dear Mailman, you're my first love. Thank you for the stack of bills and sometimes great catalogs that you pull into my street to put into my mailbox, even though I parallel park and you have to get out of your mail truck and walk over to my mailbox and put it in. You're amazing. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. You're getting a card with the flag up so that you know that's just for you. Next one, my trash people. Those who come on both Tuesdays and Thursdays. So dependable. You're there at 7 o'clock every morning just so that you can get rid of reminders of my last week's life. How I overate, I overdrank, and I overshopped. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Trash Person, for deleting these memories and getting them out of my home. You definitely deserve a Valentine's. Next, thank you, and happy Valentine's Day to you, grocery lady. Because without your reminders, I would not use my Super Shopper Awards card, and I would not get those special discounts on meat, cheese, and milk. So thank you. And I especially appreciate you sharing with me how you grill salmon. And no, I do realize I have never bought a fish product, but thank you, and it could be amazing. And now I know, and at some dinner party I may share that with other people. Valentine's Day to you. Mr. Gas Station Guy, thank you for being so sweet to me and either winking at me, or if you have a twitch, I get that too. Whatever. It makes it easier for me to pay $3.50 a gallon when you have made me feel like I am cute and a special customer. You too get a Valentine. The next one. Yes, Miss Kindergarten Homeroom Teacher Parent. You also get a Valentine's Day card for showing me what an expert you are when we had Mommy and Me Valentine's Day, and your box has paper mache and Fabergé and any other French product you can think of to make such a beautiful, beautiful box to obtain and collect these Valentines from our kids who can't spell their own names yet. Thank you, because you have just reminded me that even though I am now a Girl Scout cookie parent and now housing 4,000 cookies in my house, you beat me. Thank you for that. And you should get a Valentine, and I shall give you one. Next, to the waiters and the waitresses, especially on Valentine's Day, to my servers, when I go and you all feel sorry for me and you elicit other empathy from patrons, I appreciate that. Thank you for taking the opportunity not to make fun of me for sitting alone and to go ahead and very discreetly pull away the second napkin, fork, spoon, knife, and water glass while I'm sitting there. That was very sweet of you. And for that, you definitely most certainly get a Valentine. Okay. And finally, so to my listeners, to my readers of my blogs and my articles and my website, I just simply want to tell you thank you for your loyalty and your empathetic responses and emails and a little bit of humor as you feel sorry for me. I'm totally cool with that as well. So for that, I give you thanks, and I appreciate it very so much. So, if I don't sound jaded enough yet, and I don't sound like this is the most amazing month ever, and we are to have the most amazing day ever next week, I am sorry. Do I need to remind you of that ugly little girl with the pigtails? I want to remind you to be the person who looks at other people and thinks that you can be something amazing with or without. Oh, there I am. With or without, I love in your interest, okay? Without in your life. Well, she looks like she was having so much fun. She looks like she was having so much fun. All right, you guys. So I'm going to call it a night for you. A little early tonight. I understand that. We got off to a late start. My apologies. I have been sick for a little while, so I don't know that I'm up to full speed. But I appreciate being here with you again today, and I appreciate listening. I'm really excited about next month. Let me just take a second to talk to you about this. I'm really big on authors and self-help and psychology and the full aspect. And you all might know Regina Brett, B-R-E-T-T. She is on the New York Times bestseller for, gosh, the last 2 years, for the first 10 to 12 weeks. She's written amazing stuff about being a better person and how to find the true you and all of this. And I was fortunate enough, I've kind of stalked her a little bit. You probably know by now I can do that. And so she is now accepted and wants to be a part of the show and said that she would, take on an interview. And I am beside myself with excitement over this. So I hope to present that to you guys in March. But again, we're all still new. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you sticking tight with me through all of this. And please feel free, if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to email to me, it's twhitecounseling@yahoo.com. get on my website. It's twhitecounseling.net. And I look forward to visiting with you next month. So I'm going to cut it short a little bit tonight. And happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a remarkable Valentine's Day. Because I am the one at the big restaurant waiting to be proposed to and letting the crowd go wild. All right. Have a good night.
Stepping Forward with Tamara White, a licensed professional counselor and clinical psychologist, was brought to you by the WTOE Radio TV Network at throughoureyes.org. For more information on tonight's show, or to reach Tamara directly, you may email her at twhitecounseling@yahoo.com or visit twhitecounseling.net. That's twhitecounseling.net. Special thanks to the numerous individuals and families that have stepped outside of the box to enlist assistance through therapy. All words, ideas, and comments expressed on Stepping Forward are those of Tamara White and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the NFB of New Jersey, or the WTOE Radio TV Network. Until next time, I'm Michelle Paulette.
You done it again.
That's all, folks.